Hello guys, this is Master G. Today I'm gonna help you guys pronunciate Korean word that we have to study as a red belt and junior black belt in our school. So I'm gonna go ahead and make it short. I don't want you to hearing it too much as it's stressing out. So first we will go through the counting, which is 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. That's how you're supposed to count. And 스물, 서른, 마흔, 쉰, 예순, 일흔, 여든, 아흔, 백. That's how you count 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. I'll do it one more time. 20 is 스물, 30, 서른, 40, 마흔, 50, 쉰, 60, 여순, 70, 일흔, 80, 여든, 90, 아흔, 100, 백. So how we use this? When we do workouts, I sometimes give you guys number that you will have to complete, and I might ask you to count out, loud, which it's very simple. So after 열, which is 10, if you're going on to 11, 12, you just gotta add it on from 열. So let's say 15, 열다섯. What if I say 25? It should be 스물다섯, 서른다섯, 마흔다섯. You just gotta add the number 1 through 9 on after those 20, 30, 40 numbers that I just said. And then 8 basic kicks. Up and down, it's more stretching kicking that we do as the beginning of the kicking practice, that we call it as 앞차 올리기. 앞차 올리기. 앞 means front, 차 means kick, 올리기 means lifting. So 차기 is kicking, so I put that in like a in between and end. 앞차 올리기. So that means you do straight up and down kicking. And front snap kick is 앞차기. 앞차기. Roundhouse kick, 돌려차기. This I know a lot of you guys have hard time pronunciate. 돌려차기. I'll say it one more time slowly. 돌려차기, meaning it's turning body kick kind of thing. High roundhouse kick, I put it right next to roundhouse because it's kind of coming along with it, which is 상단, meaning is high section. 돌려차기, roundhouse kick. High section, roundhouse kick. So it calls as 상단 돌려차기. And then we have side kick, which is 옆차기. 옆 meaning is next to, side kind of thing. So 옆차기 is side kick. Then we have X kick, 찍어차기. This is another one. People having hard time saying it. 찍어 means X. 차기 is kicking. 찍어차기. 찍어차기. And back kick call as 뒤차기. 뒤 means behind. And spinning hook kick, 뒤후리기. Spinning like a behind kick, like a spin kick. 뒤후리기. Okay, that's all basic 8 kicks that I normally use in our class. And there's a push kick is not there. 밀어차기, that's another thing, but it's not on the paper, so you don't really have to study. And what else? Position as attention stance. That I use it so many times, which is 차렷. 차렷 means attention. And at easy stance, at easy. 쉬어 meaning is when you're listening from me that in the class, or when you're doing 품새, there's a word that we use as a 쉬어, means as at easy. It's saying relax kind of thing. And ready stance, we use this a lot. 준비. But this one I need to explain it to you guys a little bit more, because there are different ready stances that you do in taekwondo, which is we do 품새, we do kicking, we do sparring, and sometimes we do board breaking, weapons and all that kind of thing. So ready stance in general, we call it as a 준비. So you will have to see the situations, what in the class, what you're doing, and you need to pick a stance kind of thing. Let's say we're doing 품새 and I say 준비, then you got to get ready for 품새. That's what it means. What if we are putting our sparring gear and getting ready to spar, and I say 겨루기 준비. So 준비 coming, right? After I say certain things. It's different ready stance that I'm asking you to have. And white belt have basic stance as horse stance, right? It calls 주춤서기. So it's hard to say this one too. 주춤서기. So you could just divide it as a two. 주춤서기. 주춤서기. So I call it 주춤서기 준비. Ready for horse stance kind of thing, you know? And kicking, I don't use this so much, but it is include the kicking. I already feed you guys, which is 발차기. 차기, that means kicking. Start, another thing, just like a ready stance. I use it so many times with different things that we do. 시작. 시작 means start. Stop, 그만. Kman uses a lot in sparring. So if referee wants to stop what you guys do, they will call it like kman out loud. Kman. Then you will have to stop. And in Pumse, we use this a lot. Return to ready position. So when you're done doing your forms, you finish your technique and yell most of the time, and you will hear me saying 바로. Or if you go to tournament, referee will also say 바로, meaning is return to ready. And turn around, we do use this word a lot before after class when we do salute the flag. I ask you to turn around and fix your uniform. 뒤로 돌아, 도복 단정. 도복 단정 is also like a fix your uniform. And turn around is 뒤로 돌아. 뒤로 돌아, 도복 단정. If I say that, that means you turn around and fix your uniform. And other thing is training area, which this is big time confused too, because of, Taekwondo and Karate has very similar sound of the training area we call, which Korean training area for the Taekwondo, we call it as 도장, 장, at the end, 도장. But just so you know, dojo, that's how karate people or kendo, there's that martial arts people call it as their training area, dojo. But Taekwondo training area called as 도장. Uniform, 도복. And forms. Each different belt has a form, even black belt. We call that as 품새. And yelling, 기합. And this was very funny when I came in America because you write it down as a 기합, and people were yelling 기합 like that. So 기합 is more of you breathing out when you're doing certain things as exhale your airs kind of thing. So it shouldn't make a certain sound. It's more of your own, like a sound that you are yelling it out as bringing maximum power. So when you do any pumses or sparring, if you hear me saying yell loud, 기합 loud, you got to just find your own way as, you know, breathing it out, yell out. That's all you got to do. And breathing is another thing. 숨쉬기. When you have like a training really hard, you know, sometimes we stop and take a deep breath. You know, 숨쉬기. If I say 숨쉬기, then you should just stop and take a deep breath. And then bow. We use this a lot. 경례. And bow, I'll feed you later, but it's 경례 can use different way too. So next one, thank you. This can be very unique one for you to know some Koreans that you can use it not only in Taekwondo in general. You can go to store, if you see Korean people, you could say thank you in Korea, you know, which is 감사합니다. But we don't say it like that slow. We say it more like smooth and fast. 감사합니다. That's how we say it. And the last sounds a little bit going down. 감사합니다. And we also kind of half bowing to them. 감사합니다. Like this, okay? And master, 사범님. Grandmaster, 관장님. And I'll skip the self-depends because this is more of calling is different art. And bow to master. 사범님께 경례. See, there is 경례. Bow, right? Bow to master. 사범님께 경례. Salute flag. This is a little bit different. 국기에 대하여 경례. So there's another bow, but you don't bow. Bow can be salute in Korean. 경례, you could salute or bow in different situations. So 국기에 대하여 경례. Salute to flag. And next one will be Hi Master. Hi Master and Goodbye Master. A lot of people get confused on this because of little difference. So I'll say hi first. Hi, 안녕하세요, 사범님. So we already talked about master, call as a 사범님. Hi is 안녕하세요. So you say 안녕하세요, 사범님. Goodbye, it's very similar, but only one part is different. 안녕히 계세요, 사범님. 안녕히 계세요, 사범님. 안녕하세요, 사범님. Hi. 안녕히 계세요, 사범님. Goodbye. Okay, that's the most harder part, I guess. In sparring, we call it as a 겨루기. 겨루기. Sparring call as a 겨루기. Blue, 청. Red, 홍. Sparring gear, we call it as 호구. Put your 호구 on. You know, put your gear on. Start, there's another start. When you start doing sparring, you get to your opponent facing each other. 차렷, 경례, 겨루기, 준비, 시작. Then you start to compete. And in sparring, sometimes referee break you guys up as a saying 갈려. 갈려 means separate. So two of you guys got in too close and not doing anything, then referee comes in separating you guys as saying 갈려. Then you gotta separate. And after that separation, they might call you continue, which is 계속. If you hear them saying 계속, means continue. And then there's now only one deduction called as minus point, 감점. 감점. If you do any penalty movement or anything wrong, they will give you minus point, call it as 감점. So if you hear them say 감점, you lost point. And time, if there's anything that referee think need more time, they will call 시간. 시간 means time. It's in genitor. So you could study this 시간 and use it later with many other way. And at the end, they will find out who win, who lost, but they don't point the lost person, but they only find a winner as call 승. So when you're done, they will say 차렷 경례, 청승, 홍승. So if you hear that, if I'm blue, 청승, yeah, I won. 홍승, oh, I lost, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So these are all the basic words that I have in our school for our red belt, junior black belt. Please study all this. The test is coming up in 2 weeks. I know normally when you guys come in class, I ask our black belt sit down, help you guys understanding better this Korean vocabulary. But right now, we have limitations, so I made this video so you guys can study. And if you are not a red belt or junior black belt, I mean, if you have a time during the weekend, you could always study ahead of time. It'll be very helpful because sometimes I do use Koreans in class, and sometimes we have guest master coming from Korea that they use this kind of word a lot. If you know ahead of time, it will make so much sense. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate, just ask me. I mean, I speak Korean better than English, that's for sure. So I would love to speak with you guys in Korean because I can speak better, but if you do need help, don't hesitate, ask me. Thank you guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you next week.